of the things that I look at when I look at a community that is inclusive is that it really has to see every person in it for the strengths and the assets that they bring. That is to say, we really need to look at our community from a perspective of abundance, not from a perspective of scarcity.
I think the beauty of diversity and inclusion is that everyone brings a different perspective to the table. And when we think of all these different perspectives and we get all these people together, we can really create a vibrant and colorful environment that adds excitement to our town.
Yeah, in my view, Columbus is an inclusive place to live. As I've said often, we can do better. I mean, there are plenty of places where we can improve. But when you take a look at the population growth we've had in Columbus, and then when you take a look behind that at the numbers, where these people have come from, you can see that they must feel fairly comfortable here for this to have succeeded.
We've got a lot of diversity in this town, and for a town this size to have the amount of diversity we have, I think it's a huge bonus. So if we can learn how to be inclusive of all of that diversity that's here, it only makes us a better community.
One of our challenges in this country is the assumptions that we make about people who are not like us. And so those assumptions, they become apparent and they get in the way of getting to know the person who's before you.
There is a certain amount of indifference and privilege towards bigotry, racism, and so on and so forth, which prevents us from being fully inclusive.
I think that the challenge is that we have to start challenging ourselves and our children to take a step to maybe talk to somebody that doesn't look like them or learn about a culture that doesn't look like anything that they've been a part of.
I was definitely saddened by the exclusion, but I was able to overcome it with my parents because I would work with them to find out different measures to overcome this situation.
I would define inclusion by the acceptance of one's differences and the invitation of those differences to the table.
We describe it this way. We say diversity is being asked to the party and inclusion is being asked to go dance at the party. So you're actually being involved.
Inclusion is different than being welcoming. So I think Columbus is a very welcoming community, but I think inclusion goes a step further to say, not only are you welcome here, but we want you on our boards. We want you helping to drive the decisions that move our community forward and move us into the future.
People are becoming more welcomed, and you're seeing people who have decided to make this their homes, and you're finding folks who are getting involved in our political processes and sitting on our boards and being involved in community activism, which is all a very positive thing. And I think those are all the rich things that you get from having inclusion.
I believe inclusion, our approach to inclusion, diversity, being a welcoming community has very much played part of the growth of Columbus. It's played part of our growth as one of the largest employers in this community.
I would wish for every child, and this is really repetitive of Dr. King's message, that every child have the advantage of knowing that they can do what they wish to do and achieve that and not be discounted because they are different.
It is extremely important as we bring people to the table and try to work to move ahead that we are involving, engaging, being inclusive with everybody within our school corporation and within our community.
At United Way, inclusion is a guiding principle of the work that we do. We are invested within our community of raising people up, people from all walks of life. I think it's best summed up in the quote by J.I. Miller. The most important service to others is service to those who are not like yourself.
Imagine Columbus is a community-wide coalition with a vision to create a more inclusive culture where you are valued for the inherent diversity that you bring. We work with people, with groups, with organizations, schools, and neighborhoods. Everyone that is interested in inclusion and coalition building. Together, we can create a brighter community for all.